The Red Room is proven to produce exceptionally proficient cold-blooded killers. However, if there's one thing that's for sure, there are still characters who have been able to keep some semblance of human emotion, even through all of that torturous training. Yelena and Natasha certainly proved to be some of these strong-willed individuals. It is these emotions which the Red Room tried to destroy that made Yelena the perfect target for someone like Val. In this video, we will explore Val's tactics in her recruiting for the Dark Avengers, including her mastery of manipulation. Is she the new slightly more convincing two-eyed Nick Fury? Let's find out right now. La Contessa Valentina Allegra de la Fontaine was first introduced to us in The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, as a sort of light in the dark for the career of John Walker. John is a decorated US military veteran and lifelong fan of Steve Rogers. He dedicated his life to service, receiving several awards for his courage and valor in the field. After Steve officially gave up the shield, and Sam really officially gave up the shield, the government chose John Walker to be the next symbol of the country. Beside his best friend and fellow soldier Lamar Hoskins, John took up the shield and officially became the next Captain America. Lamar took on the moniker of Battlestar, and the two officially began their missions together. While John is definitely not a villainous character, he's very complex, and the government choosing him proved that they were basically ignoring Erskine's belief that Captain America should first and foremost be a good man, not necessarily the perfect soldier. John, feeling inadequate next to the likes of Bucky and Sam Wilson, chose to take a stolen vial of super soldier serum, turning him into an enhanced fighter able to take on some of the best. In a conflict with the Flag Smashers, their leader Karli Morgenthau wound up killing Hoskins, driving John Walker into an unstoppable rage. In his blind hatred, he killed one of the Flag Smashers named Nico in a very compromising position, while basically everyone watched and recorded it. He drove the iconic shield into Nico's chest again and again, staining the red, white, and blue symbol with a little more red than intended. Disgraced, John Walker was stripped of his Captain America title, and the shield was returned to the rightful hands of Sam Wilson. Confused, lost, and angry about the death of his best friend, and the loss of the title and recognition his somewhat fragile ego so greatly craves, Walker forged his own shield and planned to go after Karli. Joining the new Captain America and the Winter Soldier, Walker made some heroic choices, in many ways redeeming himself, but still proving that he was no cut-and-dry hero. A man in this much emotional turmoil was perfect for Val's first recruit. Appearing from seemingly the light at the end of the tunnel, she offered John what he believed would be a chance at redemption in her attempt to form a team prepared for the weird times ahead. She used his disgrace against him, because while he may not have been the perfect Captain America, he is still a decent enough person with some emotional instability who just wants to do good in the world. This makes him the perfect tool for Val, and the reason she was so easily able to manipulate him into taking on the new role of the US agent. If there's one thing the Black Widow movie proved about our Contessa, she has many tools in her arsenal of manipulation. She has a knack for taking on the whole good-hearted people and bending them at their weakest points to do her bidding, whether they know it or not. She proved this knowingly with Yelena Belova at the end of the film. Grieving over the death of Natasha Romanoff, Val approaches Yelena with a new mission. The next target would be who she claims is responsible for the death of her sister. That target is none other than the Avenger Clint Barton. Throughout the film, we saw how close Yelena and Natasha became. It is hard to imagine a bond closer than two people with the shared life experience of growing up in the Red Room. This movie shows us more and more how Val is willing to lie to these powerful individuals and manipulate them in their moments of weakness. We, the audience, clearly know the truth, that Natasha chose to die and sacrifice herself so that the Avengers could get the Soul Stone and bring everyone back. And I don't think there was a single soul that objected to this more than her longtime friend and ally Clint. In a battle to the death, literally, Natasha threw herself off the ledge on Vormir, leaving Hawkeye behind. It is unclear what vendetta Val has against Hawkeye, but she is clearly misleading Yelena, who, in another state of mind, may refuse the mission, demanding more pay or vacation time. Val just loves getting what she wants by making things personal. Because of Val's intervention, I could actually now see Yelena taking on a very similar path that Natasha Romanoff took during her career as the Black Widow. She is on record of having a very specific skill set and not caring who she used that skill set for or against. This included her time working as an assassin for the KGB. She then joined S.H.I.E.L.D. in an attempt to walk the straight and narrow, only to find out that someone manipulated her, Nick Fury, and all the good men and women of the government organization. Hydra grew right under their nose, and when push came to shove, Natasha chose the truly heroic path, taking down Alexander Pierce and revealing Hydra to the world. Seeing as there are a multitude of similarities between the two, it's very possible that Yelena could have the same experience with the Dark Avengers. She would join them, hoping to do some good in the world, like the Avengers and her sister did before her, only to find out that she was being manipulated and used for the goals of a manipulative individual. Though, if they initially go with the name Dark Avengers, she may figure it out sooner rather than later. I don't know what Hawkeye did, but he now has some very powerful individuals hot on his trail. It is likely we will see Val, Yelena, and maybe several other members of the Dark Avengers show up in the Hawkeye streaming series. While two can definitely make a team, one would believe that the Dark Avengers roster will definitely expand beyond US Agent and Yelena. It's likely that Val will take Nick Fury's shtick of showing up at the end of Marvel programs, alluding to an ominous future team-up. I can't wait to hear her tell Mordo or something that she's here to talk to him about the Dark Avengers initiative. Valentina will use all her methods to recruit the remaining members, whether it be money, blackmail, or more emotional manipulation. There are several possible candidates for the roster. With the new Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings trailer, an old familiar face appeared unexpectedly, though it may look a little more evolved. Abomination makes a surprise showing at the fighting tournament that will appear in the movie. Nothing is confirmed, but there has been much speculation as to his incarceration status. I believe Abomination is there on behalf of someone else, whether that be Thaddeus Ross, the Power Broker, or maybe Val has already sunken her claws into him. Val could be preying on the Abomination's desire for freedom, having most likely been locked up since the second movie of Phase 1. Using this promise that she probably doesn't even have the authority to make, Abomination would add the Hulk-sized strength to the Dark Avengers that it severely needs. The Dark Avengers may also need a magic wielder in their corner, and who better to fill that role than the scorned Baron Mordo? Since he has been going around re-paralyzing sorcerers one at a time since the end of Doctor Strange, he most likely could use some guidance. Val could very easily prey on Mordo here, offering him a chance at the restoration of order and perhaps even a face-off with the Sorcerer Supreme. The final anti-hero I believe Val will seek out to join her forces is going to be her biggest mental challenge yet. I think a mastermind and surprisingly good fighter and dancer like Baron Zemo would add a layer to the team that would allow them to outwit the likes of the smartest Avengers. Zemo proved to not be entirely evil in The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, despite his past heinous crimes. His mind would be the hardest thing for Val to manipulate, but perhaps offering him the chance for freedom, or even using his family's deaths that still eat at him would allow her to sway him to do her bidding. Other members could include a weapons designer like the Tinkerer or Justin Hammer, or even an original comic member like Matt Gargan, who is sitting in prison with the Vulture. No matter who it is, it seems Val will cross any boundary in order to get these complicated superpowered individuals to deliver the Avengers to her one by one. The Dark Avengers are coming. Hawkeye and the rest of the MCU roster had best be ready. Who else do you think Val will recruit? And after Hawkeye, who will they target next? Look, if someone doesn't take out Dale from Baskin-Robbins soon, it may be too late.